I think before we begin, I think it's important for us to thank all the people who've made this day possible, between the musicians and the administration and all of you and your family and friends. And so let's just thank them by giving them a round of hand. In truth, I've been thinking about this day for a long time, not just the last few months, but also the last 4 years as my niece is graduating today. And even before that, 21 years ago when she got baptized, didn't know what would happen with her life, but here she is. And I know there are many of you out here, parents, family, and friends, who've worked so hard to bring about this day. And we really want to honor you and celebrate you during this service. So to do that, I invite you to join me for prayer. Almighty God, on this day, we have much to celebrate. We celebrate this graduating class and the resiliency they have shown while at Grandview. Their journey is truly unique. In celebrating them, we celebrate the people whose sacrifices have brought about this day: family, friends, faculty, staff, coaches, alumni, and many others supporting them on their journey. Finally, gracious God, in celebrating these students, we celebrate you, the author and sustainer of all creation. We now commit these graduates and this ceremony to your loving care. Amen. Please be seated.
Well, good afternoon and welcome. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the entire Grandview University community, I'd like to recognize the class of 2020. Congratulations. We know your final year at Grandview didn't end as you planned, and we had to wait nearly 4 months to assemble for this ceremony. But we're glad we did. You deserve to be recognized for your accomplishments and to celebrate with your classmates, families, and friends. For a variety of reasons, a number of graduates and family members were not able to be here today, but are joining us via our live stream. We have graduates watching live from all over the world, from Guam to Denmark, and from several states across our country. Welcome to you as well. This is a time to celebrate. Today is the culmination and recognition of the hard work you graduates put into your education. But the word commencement means beginning. So today, we also look forward to the next step in your life's journey. For some of you, this means further education. For others, it means embarking on new careers or taking on new challenges in your current jobs. Whatever those next steps may be, we hope you will treasure the education, the experience, and the relationships you gained while at Grandview. And when you leave this ceremony as alumni of Grandview, you will go with our best wishes. Again, congratulations.
Esteemed faculty, members of the staff and administration, alumni, family members, guests, and fellow Vikings. It is my honor to finally welcome you all here today as we celebrate our accomplishments and finally validate the commencement of the 2020 graduating class from Grandview University. On behalf of the student body, I welcome you to the 2020 Grandview University commencement ceremony. It was nearly 4 years ago today that many of us were moving into our freshman dorms and meeting classmates that would soon become lifelong friends. That being said, every journey taken to get to the seat you are in today has been unique. but we all have this in common. We did not get here alone. I would first like to thank all of the family members that we have in the audience this afternoon. Thank you for the unwavering support that you have given to your graduate. It was by your encouragement and by your guidance that we all made it here today. I would next like to thank all of the faculty, staff, and administration at Grandview University for their dedication, their commitment, and their service to the students of the 2020 graduating class. You became our Grandview family because you pushed us forward when we wanted to give up. You will always be our Grandview family because you will always love us unconditionally. Soon to be graduates, we did it. Today is the day that you finally get to celebrate that diploma that we have all been waiting for years to hold. But today is also a day to reflect on the journey that brought us all here. The late night paper writing, the failures, and the friendships that you formed in class. Today, think about the hundreds of hours that you spent in the art studio, or in the schools, or the hospitals, or maybe the lab in Ealing's. Today is the day that you get to look forward to this opportunity that education has brought you. For years to come, you will have an education that can never be taken away from you. Because of your hard work, today is your victory lap. Today is your Gatorade shower at the end of the game. Today we celebrate your accomplishment of a lifetime. So please enjoy today's ceremony in celebration of your incredible achievements. I would like to extend a congratulations to each of you. And may you always remember that this university is a place that you can forever call home. Thank you.
Class of 2020, congratulations. Some of you came to Grandview in the fall of 2016 and have spent 4 straight years on campus. For others among you, your journey to this day may have been longer or shorter, may have started elsewhere, was not so direct, or may have included several interruptions along the way. And for all of you, the final weeks of your time at Grandview were disrupted in ways none of us could have imagined. Whatever your path to this graduation stage, you made it. We're proud of you. I too want to welcome you all here today. This is a very special day. Graduation is my favorite day of the year. So last spring, having to inform you that we couldn't have commencement on our traditional day in April was tough for me as well. But we're here today, and I am so glad that you are too. This is a celebration, students, of your accomplishments. So it's only appropriate to have students lead off today's ceremony. Thank you, Caitlin, for your student welcome and your leadership over the past year as Viking Council President. I look forward to handing you your diploma a little later in this ceremony. Graduates, you all have stories. Your lives are stories. And your stories are actually part of longer and wider family stories. Your time at Grandview has been just one chapter in your personal story, and we hope this chapter has been one of triumph and accomplishment and personal growth. But those of us who work here know full well that your Grandview chapter may also contain some less than happy scenes, some setbacks, challenges, and disappointments. But the fact that you're here today, however, means that you faced those challenges, you persevered, and succeeded. Now, every year, many students are nominated to be student speaker at commencement. The Provost Council selects just one, and we do that to hold up and honor all of you, knowing that your representative's story contains experiences that many of you may have shared. I couldn't be more proud of this year's selection, and in a few minutes you'll understand why. Michaela Morris, quoting one of her faculty nominators, is an extremely ambitious and intelligent young woman. Let's start with the intelligent part. Michaela majored in digital media production, journalism and PR, and media communication. She graduates with a GPA that is about as close to perfect as you can get. She was inducted into the Grandview Honor Society in 2019 and has been on the President's List 4 semesters and on the Dean's List at other times. So now let's cover the ambitious part. Michaela first joined the bowling team when she arrived here. She has served as a resident assistant and was a member of GV United and Team GV. She held a management position on the radio station and was editor-in-chief for Viewfinder, our student news magazine. She served 2 years as co-president of the Black Student Union, and in that role, revitalized that organization. This past winter, Michaela tried her hand at acting. She moved me in her role in the play Wild Widow's Poker. As impressive as all that is, it does not capture what's special about this chapter in Michaela's life story. You need to hear it in her words. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you this year's student speaker, Miss Michaela Morris.
From a young age, we are asked, what do you want to be? This question is what prepares us for our educational journey, or what I like to call our educational race. If you would have asked me this question 4 years ago when I stepped foot onto GV's campus, I would have told you a bowling commentator for ESPN. Ambitious, right? However, over the duration of this race, the obstacles that I've faced have not only made me change my answer, but have led me to a more important question. Who do I want to be? Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. These words and the following stanzas were written by civil rights activist and poet Maya Angelou, and are from her famous poem, Still I Rise. Growing up, I was taught to value education, as it's easily seen as a privilege. But for me, it's more than that. It's a blessing. It's a chance at something that many, like my grandpa, never had. My grandpa Will started this educational race for my family back in 1955. After graduating high school, he was forced to leave the only place he ever called home, Batesville, Mississippi. An unjustifiable threat on his life led him to migrate north to Chicago. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. And just like in the poem, my grandpa rose. Work hard, get good grades, and put 100% into everything you do. As I arrived on campus in 2016, my grandpa's words echoed in my head. Seeing that I have been preparing for this educational race my entire life, I was eager to begin my journey. Being 1 semester in, I was easily juggling being a student athlete, working 2 jobs, and maintaining a good GPA. I was unstoppable. Second semester began and my momentum was building. That was until my #1 fan was no longer there to cheer me on. On March 5th, 2017, my grandpa Will passed away. What is the point of this race if he wouldn't be able to see me cross the finish line? Was there more to life than bowling and getting good grades? His death left me questioning everything, but still I rise. Sophomore year, I had bounced back just to be faced with yet another obstacle. A big part of why I came to Grandview was for bowling. That was until I became injured and could no longer compete. Slowly, it seemed like all the parts of my identity were fading, leaving me to question who I was. It felt as if GV was no longer the right course for this race. In a sea of other runners, I felt lost and alone. With the urge to transfer, I turned to my mom for advice. Michaela, you chose that school for a reason. Figure it out. At some point in every college student's journey, they hit a low. This was mine. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? But in the end, still we rise. Determined to regain my happiness and find my new purpose, I really decided to buy into my college experience, which meant leaving the old Michaela behind. I started to form closer connections with those around me and discovered a new passion for making sure that others knew they belonged. Giving campus tours was the perfect opportunity for me to connect with prospective students, especially those who looked like me, to assure them that they can belong, that there are resources available, and that faculty and staff actually care about them. With the Black Student Union, Alyssa Parker and I worked hard to create a safe space for those who looked like us, to connect with them, vent about whatever was going on campus, in the world, and to host events that reminded us of home and of our culture. With Viewfinder magazine, I was able to tell stories that people could relate to and inform them on important life matters. As a residence assistant, it was building relationships with my peers to assure them that when they hit their lows, there was a light at the end of the tunnel. GV United connected me with alumni who opened my eyes to the university's progress and growth throughout the years. All of these activities not only showed me what GV had to offer, but allowed me to share it with my peers. Over our 4 years, we've found new friends and family. We've had a chance to make this place our own and to make an impact. Looking back, I never expected to get so involved. I never expected to grow into this person who could advocate for others, be her authentic self, who could grow in confidence. But I did, and you all grew too. Although this was my race, my classmates have each had their own reasons that led them to GV. They each faced their own sets of obstacles and hit their lows. But today, we are here. We rise as we prepare to take the final strides to push us over the finish line. Today is the end of our collegiate race, and you all should be proud, as only 65% of students actually make it to this point. Through our classes, our activities, and our friendships, we have not only figured out what we want to be, but who we are right now. So, catch your breath, take a victory lap, and enjoy the moment. But remember, this is just one of the races in which we have to run. Class of 2020, today we are making history. We are graduating in the midst of a pandemic, and the future at this point is unknown. But no matter what, I encourage you all to continue to grow, challenge conventions and faults in this world, advocate for others, remember your past, and set a high standard for those who follow you. As I prepare to cross the finish line today, I dedicate this one to you, Grandpa. And I remember your sacrifices and your courage, and feeling your comfort from beyond, I say these words. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise. I rise. I rise. Thank you.
Thank you, Michaela, for those great remarks. As I said earlier, this is just one short chapter in your life's story. I know you have a goal of continuing your education and earning a PhD someday. So, Michaela, I want to encourage and challenge you to continue that race and to earn that doctorate. And when you do, I want to see you return to Grandview and take your seat among this distinguished faculty. What do you think? Yeah. You've had a positive impact on the university and your fellow students during your time here as a student, so imagine what you could do as a member of our faculty. Go for it. Keep rising. Okay, at this time, I would typically introduce a commencement speaker, someone who is further along in their life's story. But in an effort to shorten today's ceremony, we skipped that address and the conferral of honorary degrees. Indulge me for 3 minutes, however, to accomplish the purpose of having a commencement address. Mr. Littlefield mentioned in his welcome that commencement means beginning. Today, besides looking back at the last 4 years, we want you to look forward. Graduates, as we send you into the world, we do so knowing that your generation will face challenges and problems that my generation left unresolved. Big problems, like feeding the world as the human population grows, understanding more about how the human brain works, determining the extent of human impact on the environment and what can be done about it, finding the cure for countless diseases. In fact, graduates, COVID-19 is likely not the last pandemic you will encounter. It was our objective to equip and empower you to face these challenges with courage and confidence, to do your part, and to shape your thinking in ways that will enable you to be creative problem solvers for the rest of your lives. Now, many of you are sitting there thinking, yeah, I'm not a science major, and those problems are for the scientific community to solve. Well, my first response to that is simple. Solving all the world's greatest challenges requires contributions of all academic disciplines. My second response is more personal. You see, I was sitting in your chair 40 years ago, and I was a communications major like Michaela. Sitting there on my graduation day in May of 1980, I thought I'd get a job as a newspaper reporter or work in a corporate PR department. There is no way on my graduation day that I could have imagined running a university. And despite being a journalism major, I probably would have had trouble spelling coronavirus back then, much less realizing 40 years later I would be called on to lead an effort to re-engineer the operations of my university around a coronavirus that prohibits close personal contact. But that's what I've been doing for the past several months. I have been learning about COVID-19, what makes it dangerous, how this virus is spread, various testing techniques, how to apply various mitigation efforts to all facets of Grandview's operations. The learning I've had to do over the past few months rivals any course in any semester of my formal education. And the problem-solving portion of my brain has been working harder this summer than at any point in my career. So graduates, this is your commencement. Your learning has just begun. The reading and analysis and problem-solving and communicating that you've had to do to earn your degrees, that was just a warm-up for what lies ahead. Getting you ready and prepared to face whatever comes your way next year or 40 years from now, that'll be 2060. That was Grandview's mission. You're ready for that. And now it's time to give you certification of that readiness, your Grandview degrees. So graduates, it's also time for us to apply some of the learning about what we've learned about the coronavirus to this next portion of today's ceremony. You know, or we know that you were very much looking forward to a traditional graduation ceremony where you could put on the cap and gown, come across the stage, receive a diploma, and have that photo taken, that once-in-a-lifetime moment. And yet, we have to do it safely. So I have a few instructions for how we will handle the diploma distribution. To begin, graduates, when the faculty marshal comes to lead you to your row to the stage, please note the markings on the floor and keep proper distance between those and others around you. Next, I want to give you some assurances. Dr. Moses, who will read your name, and I were both tested for COVID-19 yesterday afternoon. We were both negative. As a matter of fact, I was tested on Wednesday and was negative. So you do not have to be concerned about us giving you the virus. I'm not terribly worried about catching the virus from any of you. Even if a few of you are unknowingly carrying the virus, the few seconds we will be here together is not considered a high-risk situation for transmission of the disease. Therefore, if you want to have your graduation picture taken without your mask, that is perfectly fine with me. That said, if you're more comfortable leaving your mask on, that's okay too. Okay, but what about the handshake? I will hand you the diploma cover with my left hand. And for graduate students, some of you already have your hood on. If you want me to hood you, I'm ready to do that as well. It's up to you. But I will hand you undergraduates your diploma cover with my left hand and extend you my right hand. You should accept the diploma cover with your left hand, and if you want that handshake, simply would ask that you use hand sanitizer on that side of the stage prior to coming up, and there will also be hand sanitizer on this side of the stage as you leave. And every so often, I will pause and use hand sanitizer up here. Now, if you do not feel comfortable with a handshake, and you want to extend an elbow for a bump or a footsie thing, I'll try to reciprocate. Or you can simply not take the handshake, just take the diploma and with your left hand and move on. That's just going to be fine. Now, family members, you recognize all the measures we've taken, the social distancing, efforts to avoid crowding. And while I know many of you would like to come forward to get your own photo, we would ask that you not do that. Our professional photographers will capture some really great shots for you. And then after the ceremony, you can take your informal shots outside, downtown, maybe even go back over to campus. And I thank you for your cooperation. At this time, I also want to acknowledge the graduates who are joining us virtually. We will not read their names now, but as the ceremony concludes, after the benediction, the live feed will switch to a list of the graduates who are not able to attend. But graduates who are online, when I confer the degrees, I will be conferring your degrees as well. Thank you for your attention to these instructions. Dr. Moses, I think we're ready.
By virtue of the fact that they have met all the necessary requirements, the following candidates are hereby recommended by the faculty of Grandview University for the Master of Education, Master of Science in Athletic Training, Master of Science in Organizational Leadership, and Master of Science in Sport Management. Candidates for the master's degrees, please stand when your row is released by the faculty marshal. Carrie Bourne Barrington. Jennifer M. Eppert. Stephanie Jensen. Carrie Lynn Lundy. Jessica Ann Manning. Lindsay Nicole Roberts. Courtney Brewer. Allison Lynn Birnbaum. Sarah L. Evans. Cam N. Hamalino. Jody Jackson. Mustafa Kroma. Ava Noemi Sandoval. Tracy Lynn Stelflug. Candidates for the master's degree, please stand. Mr. President, I am honored and proud to submit to you the candidates for the degrees Master of Education, Master of Science in Athletic Training, Master of Science in Organizational Leadership, and Master of Science in Sport Management.
By virtue of the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Grandview University in the state of Iowa, I hereby confer the Master of Education, Master of Science in Athletic Training, Master of Science in Organizational Leadership, and Master of Science in Sport Management degrees on the candidates presented, and grant them all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining. Congratulations.
By virtue of the fact that they have met all the necessary requirements, the following candidates are hereby recommended by the faculty of Grandview University for the Bachelor of Arts degree. Candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree, please stand when your row is released by the faculty marshal. Noor Salah Abdul Razak. Carrie Ann Adams. Brandon Allen Albaugh. Madison Joe Allen. Asia Q. Anderson. Lauren Marie Bailey. Kylie Barber. Michaela Beretta. Caitlin Marie Belcher. Nicholas Bentley. Nathan Paul Bergman. Sean C. Blackwell. Maggie Jean Borman. Faith Marie Bose. Casey Nicole Bradish. Ira Jepchumba Benai. Tyler A. Carter. Sabrina Carper. Justin Carroll. Madison Christine Carson. Diana Castellanos. Noah James Albert Catron. Jaden Tracy Caves. Austin Chandler. Julian Samuel Cisneros. Des Collins. Caitlin Marie Cooper. Stephanie Dabney. Taylor Lee Damewood. Edna N. David. Evan Gregory DeBoer. Kinsey Dale DeBolt. Jade Michaela Dilliner. Francis Den. Allison Victoria Dematurco. Travis Dolphin. Selena Dominguez. Lucas Duberkey. Emily Flansburgh Duff. Kimberly Carol Dusick. Emmy Elizabeth Dyson. Taylor Nicole Ekstrom. Yahaira D. Espinoza Avila. Jennifer M. Fector. Benjamin Firkin. Danielle Rose Finn. Kelawu Flomo. Gabrielle Danae Gerke. Kelsey K. Glass. Kimberly Michelle Gonzalez. Riley Goodwin. Madison Grave. Madison Riley Green. Stephen Elijah David Gregory. Melanie Gustafson. Brenda Guzman Martinez. Alexandria Hackley. Tishawn Lynn Hall. Demetria Lissette Hamilton. Bradley D. Hannawalt. Grace Elizabeth Harcharik. Kyle B. Haynes. Seth Stephen Henderson. Libby K. Hennings. Blanca Gisela Hernandez. Madeline Highland. Andrew John Hill. Austin Dean Hill. Solanka Katarina Maria Hommel. Bailey Jane Hodson. Casey Howard. Courtney Lee Jacobson. Brandon Jerome. Samantha Johnson. Terrence Lee Johnson. Zachary Johnson. Gavin Wesley Jones. Amber Raquel Jones. Raven Alexa Jones. Dina Kajazovich. Tina Kajazovich. Taylor Nicole Kearney. Bailey Kristen Klein. Emily Mae Klein. Mariah Page Cook. Edina Kremick. Kyler James Lodahoff. Mackenzie Lancaster. Sydney Shea Lang. Daniel Kosma. Janetta Hawa Lavala. Madeline Leahy. Ethan Andrew Layton. Andrew James Laporte. Jacob Dale Leitz. Jamie Link. Yakov Alexander Litvak. Vanessa Lugo Sanchez. Jason McAlpine. Riley Elizabeth Mason. Riley Callan McCoy. Kyle David McGrain. Grant Charles Minadow. Jordan Beverly Grace Milkey. Zachary Mitchell. Michaela Rayana Morris. Leslie J. Muniz. Alexa Morrow. Tara Yvonne Mugen. Sarah Nicole Mulder. Winnie Bindi Nyoka. Cheyenne Nicole Munoz. Caitlin Jo Munsterman. Daryl Nellam. Michael Chaw Wynn. William Brett Norris. Emily Ann Olson. Alyssa Parker. Caitlin Wynell Marie Pasick. Haley Morgan Pfeiffer. Cole Peters. Jenna Janae Peterson. Autumn Taylor Raddick. Carly Sue Porter. Ellie Elaine Pretty. Ashley Elizabeth Prussia. McKenna Quant. Noelle Rosalia Rudishall. Eric Misael Ramirez. Leslie Ramos. Gabrielle Jane Ryerson. David Razzo Jr. Brandon Robinson. Emily Morgan Rominger. John Isaac Ross. Taylor Rummins. Peyton Steele Rutledge. Fardoza Hajir Salat. Ruben Salgado. Caitlin Roseanne Salo. Molly H. Sandiger. Faith Santee. Stevie Sarcone. Susanna Marie Schemmel. Sydney Nicole Schultz. Tina Sanchun. Melissa Lynn Sensor. Stephen Sheridan. Grant Sherman. John Eric Smith. Connor Paul Sonius. Catherine Sousa. Anastasia Stegel. Alicia Marie Stepun. Samantha Jo Stickles. Brittany Stahl. Greenstone. Tyler John Smith. Emily Ray Stewart. Amanda Renee Thamke. Seth Saveda. Madison Tilgis. Amanda R. Thorson. Drew Allen Tickner. Brooke Trouch. Emily Alyssa Twist. Erica Marie Urban. Christine Ann Vandenberg. Allison Ann Volk. Kendall Marie Walker. Haley Waseskuk. Elizabeth N. Weinheimer. Grant Richard Weldon. Dustin Welsh. William Whiten. Kelsey Lynn Willard. Kayla M. Wilson. Sarah A. Winslow. Kelsey Nicole Woodruff. Ryan Zelmer. Hannah P. Zuradeli Martilla. Maria Lynn Mayland. Jonah Cruz. Pudasuk Geoprosuit. Brendan Anderson. Kenzie Nossaman. Kaylee Ramatko. Nicholas Kelly. Hunter Claver. Brian Grace. Maria Moran. Hope Mozingo. Tanner Miller. Hunter Chandler. Bobby Yargo. James Harrington. Candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree, please stand. Mr. President, I am honored and proud to submit to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts.
By virtue of the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Grandview University in the state of Iowa, I hereby confer the Bachelor of Arts degree on the candidates presented and grant them all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining. Congratulations. You may be seated.
Please be seated. By virtue of the fact that they have met all the necessary requirements, the following candidates are hereby recommended by the faculty of Grandview University for the Bachelor of Science degree. Candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree, please stand when your row is released by the faculty marshal. Emily Michelle Albertson. Julia Christian Dolan. Michaela Marie Gates. Amber Castillo. Rand Hamady. Tom Martin Lee. Austin Michael Miller. Bailey R. Wheeler. Cameron Zane Rice. Candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree, please stand. Mr. President, I submit to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science.
By virtue of the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Grandview University in the state of Iowa, I hereby confer the Bachelor of Science degree on the candidates presented and grant them all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining. Congratulations.
By virtue of the fact that they have met all the necessary requirements, the following candidates are hereby recommended by the faculty of Grandview University for the Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree. Candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree, please stand when your row is released by the faculty marshal. Madison Rose Brewer. Allison Marlene Brown. Madison Claire Carter. Macy May Caves. Rachel K. Danielson. Savannah Rose Dupre. Catherine Elizabeth Farrell. Allison Fye. Allie Virginia Flaws. Sarah Constance Foose. Sydney Lee Grown. Macy Elaine Goodenkoff. Catherine Joan Kadich. Caitlin Page Kime. Allie Marie Calzan. Taylor Christian Lackey. Brinley Joe Leibold. Caitlin Ray Martinson. Shelby Renee Matheny. Shelby Lee Nelson. Jessica Kathleen Partridge. Alexia Maxine Skuring. Madison Lynn Sinchins. Briley Joe Tryon. Kelsey Joe Walsh. Candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree, please stand. Mr. President, I submit to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Nursing.
By virtue of the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Grandview University in the state of Iowa, I hereby confer the Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree on the candidates presented and grant them all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining. Congratulations.
By virtue of the fact that they have met all the necessary requirements, the following candidates are hereby recommended by the faculty of Grandview University for the Bachelor of Social Work degree. Candidates for the Bachelor of Social Work degree, please stand when your row is released by the faculty marshal. Durley J. Beacom. Michelle Carrillo. Haley Lee Dillon. Abby Jean Llewellyn. Erin Nicole McCann. Milton Alexander Richmond. Marissa Rose Signer. Lindsay Marie Wessel. Karina Marie Johnson. Candidates for the Bachelor of Social Work degree, please stand. Mr. President, I submit to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Social Work.
By virtue of the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Grandview University and by the state of Iowa, I hereby confer the Bachelor of Social Work degree on the candidates presented and grant them all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining. Congratulations.
Hello, my name is LB Lyons, and I am the class of 2008 from Grandview, and I serve as Grandview's Director of Alumni Relations. Today's commencement is a celebration of new beginnings for each of you, and even though you will not be on campus each day, you are still a part of our Grandview family. I invite you all to stay connected in the coming weeks, months, and years. I hope that you'll join your peers at one of the many alumni events held virtually, on campus, and in Des Moines. Please come back to Grandview and speak to a class to share your experiences and advice. Connect with other graduates through Young Alumni Networking socials. Reach out to fellow alumni for support and guidance in your careers and life. Just as a family is meant to provide encouragement, your Grandview alumni family is here for you too. We are eager to help you to make a difference in your communities, in your careers, and in life. As a way of celebrating, be sure to take the alumni gift that's located under your chair on the way out today. So on behalf of all of the Grandview alumni who have walked this stage before you, congrats, class of 2020.
Somewhere in the audience, a youngster is tugging on mom or dad's sleeve, asking, how much longer until this is over? Well, the answer is about 5 minutes. Before we conclude our ceremony, it is appropriate that we recognize some other individuals who contributed to the successes that we celebrate today. Class, as you finish your time at Grandview, so will 5 members of our faculty who are retiring. And one of them was here today, Coralie Turner. She was the one assisting Dr. Moses with reading the names. Coralie, will you please rise and be recognized? Don't think any of our other retirees are here. Yeah. And I ask the faculty, the entire faculty, to please rise. Students and parents, these are the individuals who created the curriculum, spent countless hours outside of the classroom to prepare for your classes, grade your exams. They advised you, supported you, helped transform your lives. This is your opportunity, graduates, to thank them for all they have done for you. Thank you. Now, seated with the faculty are members of the President's Council, and staff members are scattered around the arena. Many of them are in the back. They have toiled behind the scenes, just as they have done today, to make sure that everything at the university operates as it should. Will the staff please rise, or if you're scattered around, wave so we can recognize you and show you our appreciation. And graduates, as you cross the stage, we heard some cheers and some hoots. I know that the loved ones who are here with you in the audience did a great deal to assist you during your time as Grandview students. Look around, spot your family members, and give them a round of applause for all that they've done to support you. I also need to acknowledge everyone who worked hard to plan for and participated in today's ceremony. Dr. Halbert and the Grandview Brass Quintet, the Registrar's Office staff, and Carol Hall, Assistant to the Provost, my assistant, Karina King, and Chris Connolly and the amazing staff at the Iowa Events Center who graciously allowed us to move the ceremony to this arena and who assisted with seating and many other details today to assure our safety. This year's commencement was a particularly challenging undertaking. Let's thank them for their work. Now, we have a tradition here that as we recess out of the hall, the faculty will form a corridor and applaud the graduates as they leave the hall. We determined that we can continue that tradition while maintaining the appropriate physical distance. So parents and friends, I ask for your cooperation. After the benediction, we ask that the assembly, all of you, remain seated until the stage party has left the auditorium. We'll be going back the way we came in. Now, there's one more set of instructions I need to give pertaining to COVID. As everyone leaves, we need to avoid crowding. Guests, if you all leave at the same time, there will be a hopeless mess in the arena concourse, and we really can't have that. So please take your time to get up and leave. It will take several minutes for the graduates to recess. Family and friends, you may exit the arena either through the north or the south doorways. Please do not plan to meet your graduates on the arena concourse. They will be recessing and returning through the tunnel to Hy-Vee Hall. So families, when you leave, just keep moving toward the exits, maintain the proper distance, and plan to meet your graduate outdoors. Thank you for your cooperation. And now, will the graduates please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Grandview University Class of 2020. And all of you online as well. Class, I welcome you to the company of scholars and wish you good luck and Godspeed. And now one last adjustment. You've all heard that singing spreads the aerosols further, so I invite you all to stand and listen as Evan DeBoer, a graduating theology major, comes forward and sings our Grandview anthem for us. Evan.
Gracious and mighty God, shield what our hands have wrought. Bless thou the house which we have here erected. Save it from storm and flame, evils of every name. Let by thy Father hand it stand protected. We laid foundation here, facing defeat and fear, but thou hast built the house, and thou didst cheer us. Now as it stands complete, we kneel before thy feet. Whom thou art near is safe, so be thou near us. Let us before thy face walk here in truth and grace, and lead us unto grand and noble visions. Teach us the highest art, wisdom that warms the heart. Give brighter life to youth with true ambitions. Bless those who sow the grain, here for eternal gain. Shed on young hearts the light of inspiration, that all good seeds strike root, grow up and bear much fruit, worthy of thee, our homes, our church, our nation.
Evan, you can now tell people that you took stage in Wells Fargo Arena and sang to a whole group. And students, you can do the same thing. You can say at my graduation, I was on stage in Wells Fargo Arena on the big screen. So well done, everyone. I'd like to send you out with a benediction. God bless you, graduates, on your journey. God bless your work, your dreams, your relationships, your play, and the lives you touch. It is our hope that you have great joy. So travel well. We love you. Godspeed. Amen.
you.